everyone, welcome back to the Lite Cast. I'm Jay, otherwise known as Let's Go over on Twitch. Welcome back to episode 6. A little disclaimer for starting this episode. Henry sadly can't join us today. My lovely co-host, he can't join us because we are very ill. I'm still a little bit ill. If you listen to the last episode, actually, it's only a day after this for recording this. And Henry has got suddenly very ill and like his voice, he can't speak. I'm kind of still recovering, but I'm good. I'm good to go. Obviously, though, if you did tune into last week's episode, you would know that we are joined by the lovely Jennifer Jess.
Hello.
Hello, Jen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing amazing. It's great to have you here. I am very excited. I'm trying to keep my cool. I think I said this to you before we started recording.
I am
I'm a
happy
big
to be
fan.
here.
Yes. When you said you were going to come on it, I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. But yes, like it's sad that Henry can't join us, but I think I said to you, like, we're just so ill at the minute. Like, there's like, it's that kind of time. I don't know if it's the time of the year, but like, it's just like, it's a spread of colds or whatever. So,
Oof. Yeah. Do you guys get pollen over there?
Like, it's really sunny outside. Like, I think I said this to you before we started recording as well.
Yeah.
It's super sunny. So, like, I don't know if that's affecting anything, but yeah, like, it's not good. Like, it's not just like I wouldn't mind if it was like, you know, I've got like a bit of like a temperature, but like because it's your throat and obviously on a podcast, you can't like take a break. You can't just stop speaking for a minute or two. So I think like Henry just couldn't speak. So I felt really bad, but you know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
Did you want to give us a little bit of introduction to people that maybe don't know you? Maybe
yeah. So I'm a singer-songwriter and recording artist based in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been streaming on Twitch for 6 years. I've been singing for as long as I can remember. I started releasing music in 2019. I've gathered a pretty good following on Spotify since 2018. And right now I'm just recording a lot of music and continuing to build momentum and gain fans and stuff. So yeah.
I think that's amazing. Honestly, like just like saying that you've grown like a big like following is definitely true. Like I would say you're doing amazing from what I can see and what other people can see. Like especially on Spotify, like how many monthly listeners do you have on there? I think it's like
it 11,000? Fluctuates. It fluctuates between like anywhere from 11 to 17,000.
I guess that kind of changes as well when like obviously you release new music, people come in and stuff, and then
it definitely so it fluctuates a little bit, and then sometimes just randomly one of my songs will get put on some kind of playlist or something, and it'll get boosted. So there's that. But yeah, it's I feel pretty good. The fact that I started releasing the late 2019 and in just a few years, it's been able to grow like it has.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's like it's 4 years? 2023 we're in. Yeah, it's like, that's amazing to think about that. And didn't you say that like, you know, we were speaking about playlists. I think I saw this on your socials that you're featured on one of Spotify's playlists. Is that correct?
So this one is called A Break Music, and it's actually a playlist on iHeartRadio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know iHeartRadio.
Yeah, this one's super awesome. It's for indie artists. I think it's run out of LA, I think. But yeah, I got on that a few weeks ago, and I've been moving up the charts on that playlist. So it's been super cool.
Oh, wow. So like, did you contact them or did they just find you and they were just
I contacted them. So yeah, you can go on there as an artist, submit your music, and if they select it, then they'll put it on their playlist.
So did you have to like submit one of your like latest songs, or did you have to like just submit like all of them? Like, here you go, this is all my music. Take it.
So you can only submit 2 at a time, but they did select my most recent song. So
I Cried for the Both of Us, which is your latest single, which we'll probably get into later on. What other one did you submit?
Imagine You, actually.
Oh, okay. So like kind of similar vibes, you know, like How would you describe them songs? Because like I would say that like they're kind of pop, but like you can dance to them, right?
Yeah, and it's like I wasn't meaning to, but it was kind of funny because Imagine You is like my first. So I don't know if you know like what Spotify editorial playlists are. They're basically like playlists made by Spotify. So instead of like a normal user playlist, so Imagine You got placed on a Spotify editorial, and it just so happened it was a
Wow.
new disco playlist. So
What?
I was like, okay, it's new disco. All right,
I can't tell you though, like the amount of
I'll
times I
take it.
play that, like I definitely dance to it. Like I think some of my viewers will not be
Yay!
ashamed in saying that I do dance that on stream sometimes.
Yay!
And I would
So
say
yeah.
like I was saying to you like like before I've said to you on your streams that like my viewers always notice Imagine You. They're like, "What's this song?" Like I love Imagine You. Like I've got it on repeat. Like people
Aw,
love
I'm so
Imagine You.
glad.
Like if someone said to me like Jennifer Jess, I'd always be like, "Listen to Imagine You," and then you'd get the whole vibe. But like that's
Yes.
why I was so excited for like I Cry for the Both of Us. Like when you released that little snippet, I was like, "Yeah, you've got another hit for me," you know.
Aw, thanks. Yeah, it's a similar vibe. Yeah, the stuff coming after that, those are going to be very different. Well, sort of different vibes.
I think it's
So
good though to like kind of mix it up, you know, hitting the different
yes,
audiences. I think having them like personally for like me, like I like having an artist that has like a mix. So I don't really like
yeah,
listening to someone who kind of just has like the same tone.
yeah,
Sometimes, you know, like every song is like kind of like the same vibe. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I'm experimenting, seeing what sticks, seeing what people are really excited about. Yeah. This year I'm trying a few new different things, but it's basically all under the umbrella of pop music. So
I think
yeah.
that's great though, because obviously you're an indie artist, so you're independent. You can do what you
Yeah.
want really. Like if you sing, okay,
Yeah.
people like to Imagine You, I'll try I Cry for the Both of Us. People kind of liked, I know maybe some of your slower songs like Blue, for instance, and then like you could
Yeah.
try something else of that and see kind of what people like and what you enjoy making, stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because, you know, like I feel like having different vibes is also good because like say if someone wanted to play you at a party, I would definitely go with songs like, you know, Imagine You, I Cry for the Both of Us, but then also if we're gonna have like a chill playlist, I would definitely put
Yeah.
like like, you know, slower songs on there and stuff. Which I think is good having
Yeah.
like a different vibe because, you know, with an artist you kind of wanna because like for me personally on Spotify I have like separate playlists. I don't know if you have the same or like people listening. Like I have like
Yes.
a chill playlist and I have like a kind of like a feel good playlist. So like I have so like on my chill playlist, I'd say like referring to your songs, I have songs like Blue and like Middle of Us, like the slower songs, and then I kind of have
Yeah.
like on the feel good, I have like Imagine You and I Cry for the Both of Us. I got Me, stuff like that. That's a bit like, you know, feel
Yeah.
good.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, but I think with the whole like Spotify placing you on a playlist, that must have been a big achievement, right? Like,
That was huge. I was so happy. I because that's such a milestone also for independent artists is to get on one of those. Because
definitely.
it'll boost your plays and everything. So
How
yeah,
did you find
I
out
was
about that?
well, I mean, every time an artist releases something on Spotify, everyone has the option to pitch to the editorials. Um,
Oh, right. And they're just like, they just listen to it and they're like, this is what we want.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very small percentage of artists that actually get put on editorials. And so that's why it was such a huge deal for me. I was like, oh, I think I cried.
I would have as well. I'd be like, Jesus Christ! Like,
Ah,
did you get like an email like from Spotify just saying, by the way, you're
yeah.
on like the disco playlist now?
Yeah. And it showed up on my Spotify for Artists website too.
Oh,
They
that's so
told me I
amazing. I could
got
just
placed on
imagine
that.
that. I could
Yeah.
imagine
So,
you doing that.
yeah.
But
Nice.
what was I going to say? When did Imagine You actually release? It's like last year.
Yeah. I want to say, I can't remember the exact date. I want to say it was like, gosh, maybe like September or August,
Oh,
maybe.
so like, it's not like really old, is it? So
No, yeah, I guess it's still pretty new. I gotta look up when I actually released it.
you need to do
But
your
I think it
research for
was
your own music.
fall, perhaps, maybe. Yeah, I
Would you
got
say that like that's one of your biggest hits, or like would you say like
um
others?
so Blue is probably my all-time biggest.
Yeah.
Um Imagine You probably comes right after that, because that's the one that got placed on the editorial. So that gave it a big boost. However, Blue is the one that just everybody keeps listening to, and that one never got placed on a Spotify editorial playlist. And so that's what's kind of crazy about that one.
I mean,
Um,
that must just be huge for you, like thinking about that. Like, you know, with Imagine You, obviously you had like a help from Spotify, but also like it must be like as an independent artist, that must make you feel amazing. Like you haven't really had much help with that, and it's
yeah.
done that well.
Yeah. And that one, I feel like I'm so happy about it, but it's so funny because when I released that song, I remember thinking, okay, this is my first single. People may hate it. They might not like it. I'm going for it
Yeah,
though.
no, honestly, I
And
could
I,
imagine it.
I
God.
remember thinking like that I was playing it safe. I was like, let me just make like a basic little pop song, test the waters. And then that ends up being my like most favorite song. I'm just I don't know. Like I feel like I played it safe on that one. Like and so I
You
just
were
think
like,
it's
what is
funny.
happening? Like, this was like one
Like
of my, like, I was not proud of this one. I just put it out here, and now it's doing
right. I
amazing.
was like, this is just, a basic pop song and it's nice and sweet. We'll see. And then that's the one. So
I think it's
uh,
just not only your voice in that, like the vocals, but I think it's also the lyrics in that song.
yeah,
Like,
I think the lyrics play a huge part. Yeah.
yeah, like I think some of my head is like painted my world in color. All I could see was you, right? Is
Yeah.
that some of the
Yep.
lyrics? Like I
Now
think
I live in a state where all I see is blue.
yes, that is it. But I
Yeah.
think in a way, people might find that like relatable or
I
like
think so
also it's
too.
kind of unique as well. Like obviously like so much music's in the world. But I've
Yes.
listened to so much music and I've never like heard lyrics kind of like that. So I think it's
Yeah,
catchy as well, right? Like it's
it
like
is. Yeah. I've also heard a lot of songs called Blue because there are a lot of them out there and
really?
they all have a different like sure they're talking about being sad and being blue, but it's definitely a different lyrical approach than me. So that's kind of cool.
Didn't you also release like an acoustic version of that as well, like
I did.
recently?
Yeah, that was more recent. That was like towards the end of last year.
Yeah, so that's also huge because like that is amazing. People that like blue, but like here you go, I've got an acoustic version for you as well.
Exactly. Exactly. So
I think it's also a good thing to point out how much like probably streaming had like a big effect on your, career as well because obviously you started out on
yes.
Twitch, is that correct?
Yes. And yeah, so they are all basically the people that watch me on Twitch. I consider them like my super fans. When I release music, like there are especially a group of the people on Twitch that watch me that are just all over my music when it comes out. They are listening to it, they are streaming it, they are sharing it. They are like super fans and it's so incredible. So I think and being on Twitch and being able to like obviously like on Twitch you're able to make a relationship with fans that you can't necessarily make
Definitely, yeah.
as easily on other platforms because you're on there for hours just talking, singing, talking.
I think
So
like it's like obviously I'm a streamer on Twitch as well, and I can agree with you on that. Is like the relationships you make on Twitch are so different to what you can make on like say YouTube. Like it's not just a comment. You're sharing your time with people, you're getting to know people. Like
yeah.
I think before this we've never actually spoke like this like one to one before. But
Yeah.
like I know in Twitch we've had many conversations and just like in general as well. Like I think that Twitch is probably the only platform that I can really say that's popular that has that kind of connection to people. Like
Yeah.
with my viewers, and I'm sure you can agree, like I feel like I kind of know a lot about them.
Yeah. Oh,
So like I feel
absolutely.
like that connection with Twitch is nothing else like you can
Absolutely.
get on any other socials.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because it's like, let's say I have 100 people watching me on Twitch one day. Like we can have conversations you wouldn't even be able to have during a concert. Like it's almost like
Exactly, exactly.
everyone's sitting in a circle of 100 people and we're all chatting. Like it's just,
And also you're just
no.
sitting at home, with your piano. Like I'm just gonna say, like if you
Yeah.
haven't seen Jen on Twitch, like your setup looks very cozy,
Thank you.
it's very like it's a vibe. It's a vibe, isn't it? So like I think, you can do what you want really. So like also the control you have over your stream as well, It's a very safe
Yeah.
space. It's a very lovely place.
Oh,
It's
thank you so
definitely one of
much.
my favorite streams just to, have on. It's definitely
I
100%.
appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yeah,
And
and
how did you actually like start on Twitch? Like what made you be like, I'm gonna do this? Like was there any inspirations or was it just like,
yeah.
oh, I'll give it a go?
Yeah, it was back, oh gosh, well, 6 years ago now. I'm having my anniversary stream this week. But
Oh,
yeah. So, 6 years ago, it was an ex-boyfriend that I had, and he watched a lot of gamers on Twitch. And
okay.
I would watch, like, we started watching the music channel one day, and I came across some musicians, and I ended up watching them for a few months actually. And and so then eventually one day, like he honestly sort of talked me into getting on Twitch because I wanted to do like open mics in Atlanta, but driving down there, and at the time I had a job, it was just very hard to squeeze it all in. And so I was like, okay, let me try and do Twitch. We'll see, because it's kind of like I can do an open mic whenever I want, just start streaming. Um, because I wanted to get used to performing in front of people. 'Cause that's one thing
Yeah.
that I hadn't done a lot of outside of a few talent shows. Um, so then I got on Twitch, and the rest is history.
That's honestly amazing, like obviously hearing about that because I didn't know that before. But saying about your confidence, like Twitch definitely growing your confidence. I think I've been on Twitch for 2 years now, and I'm not a music streamer, but I play a variety of games. I am a kind of a just chatting streamer and stuff like that, and it's definitely like completely improved my confidence in any situation. I would say, like obviously you're singing, but like I'm sure like it's the exact same feeling of like having the confidence of like, okay, well these people like what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah,
So I feel
definitely.
like, well, I mean, you also perform off Twitch as well now, like you do like little hit up. Is that true?
Yes.
So
I'm
like in,
starting I'm starting to more. I have done a few performances, but nothing like routine. But I'm actually doing my first little local festival in the next couple weeks. And that'll
ooh,
be
okay,
super fun. Yeah, yeah. And it's just basically me and then my guitarist. So I'll be able to step away from the piano and just perform. But yeah, I wanna do start doing more things like that. So I'm just
that would be
not.
amazing. I know
Yeah,
when I was
like,
in your stream yesterday, or was it the day before that? Like this week, I was in your stream, I think, and it was quite funny when everyone in the chat was kind of chanting EU tour, come to Europe, do a
yes,
tour. Because I
yes.
would, don't get me wrong, I would go and see that 100%. I feel like people were just
Oh,
like,
thanks.
because it's like another thing about Twitch is like everyone's from everywhere. So like you have
Yeah,
a lot of fans in Europe and obviously America. So that's
yeah.
also a strange thing.
And
Like,
there's
oh my
also
God, there's
just,
people watching me from England. There's people watching me from,
yeah. There's a
that
bunch in
must
the
be so
UK.
strange.
Like there's a bunch of people that support my stream and everything, like from the UK, that watch my stream. So I mean, I would say that's one of the top places besides the States.
I guess
Um
also like the language as well, I guess.
maybe. Yeah, and then of course we have a few from Australia too. We got some of those. Of course it's harder for them to watch.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
I have a lot of
easier.
Australian viewers as well sometimes, and I see them like once a month. Like when I do like a bit of a later
Yeah.
stream, like, oh, you're here. Like I feel so bad, but then like some of them used to stay up till like I don't know, like 5, 6 a.m. just to catch me, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's difficult to obviously please everyone as well, because I know like right now for me it's 6:30 and for you it's like 1:30, right? So
Yep. Yep. But I think that it's like close enough to each other to where it's like it's easier for people in the UK, Europe to catch my streams, or catch your streams. Yeah. It's not as
100%
bad of a
because
time difference.
you're Eastern, aren't you? So it's a 5 hour difference from
Yes.
where I am. So it's like
Yes.
I think less than that maybe for like France and stuff.
I
Maybe
think well, I'm not sure because our time changes sometimes. Like we'll
yeah, that's what I'm getting confused with. I think it might be 6 hours.
yeah, because
Maybe it's like 1 hour more.
yeah, either it will be 1:31 here or it will be 12:31 here
Yeah,
at
no,
this
it is
time.
6 hours because I was in Paris last week and then it was an hour in front. So yeah,
Okay.
maths. But when
I see. Yes.
I was on oh my God, I'm trying to remember geography now. The West Coast, so like California, like last year, and that was like an 8 hour difference,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
mental. Like when
Yeah.
I was waking up, people were going to sleep at home. So like obviously, like it's good for you
Oh,
to catch everyone in Europe.
yeah.
You're like in
Oh,
the perfect time zone, I would
good.
say.
Yay. Yeah.
But
I,
for me, it's like I wouldn't say I have too many American viewers. Like a lot of my people are from like my people, sorry, my viewers are from
they are
like
your
Europe.
people.
My people, well, it's not like I own them. I don't.
No. No, no, no.
Also, like, do you have any memories from like your early days of streaming, or is it just, that long ago that you can't remember?
Oh, like what kind of memories? Because there are a lot.
Like, like memories, like my first ever like followers, or like first ever like kind of,
Oh,
oh, like that person donated to me, and like there was kind of like,
yeah. Let's
or even
see.
like recently, like do you have someone that like, I don't know, like I know like on your streams you have like a donation goal to get to like your music videos. Like, do you have anyone that's
Yeah.
like donated to you like loads? I don't know.
Last year was definitely one of those years. Definitely. Yeah, and that totally happened last year. There's probably a few clips floating around from that. It was pretty insane
I think I
especially
saw
towards the
one
beginning.
clip.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. But it was such a blessing at the same time because I had just left my regular job to pursue music full time. So
Yeah.
when
So
that
like you're
happened,
I think
yeah,
it's also important to like highlight that you're also like self-employed. You don't have another job, like this is your main focus, which I think shows
yeah.
your dedication and like, not just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can have this on the side.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm still figuring out this whole full-time music thing. A lot of what I've been doing for the last year is just like planting seeds and seeing, what bites I get, what doors open, what opportunities could arise. But I would say like, it still feels a little uneasy because it's like for leading up until I went full-time with music, I was a nanny
Yeah.
part-time, and that's what I did.
Okay.
But so it was like, like some regular income. So when I got like when I wasn't a nanny anymore, it was very scary. It was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for my
It's like, yeah, it's like a
music, or
big
like,
risk, right?
yeah, it is. And so last year it was very I was so grateful that a few
I think it's just
people,
like, yeah, I think it's just important to like surround
yeah.
yourself with people that support you and stuff. And I think I would say like from what you're saying to me, like it sounds like you're on the perfect path. I think it's about taking all your opportunities and stuff. And I think you're doing great. Like we just said, like there's a lot of stuff going on. I think taking them opportunities and like putting yourself out there and trying new things, different music, stuff on Twitch, I think that's the perfect way to go.
Yeah, yeah. And Twitch, honestly, like I it's been such a wonderful place. It feels like home. Whenever I stream on Twitch, it's really just like, okay, I can test out songs that I've written. I can practice songs for gigs. It's so casual. It's so just comfortable, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and people give me like their real honest opinions on my music, which is really cool too. So it's almost like a test group as well, before I
It's
release
like,
stuff.
do you like this?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's
I
it's
think that's
pretty awesome.
obviously like I can imagine that's pretty important for you to like have. I know you have a very like dedicated and loyal fan base, which
Yeah.
is good to have as someone that's like, obviously taking like the risk of being self-employed and it's going great and like obviously having like say other musicians who haven't streamed on Twitch don't have that kind of backing behind them, that's something to like fall back onto. Like, do you like this music? I think it's good to,
Yeah, it's
experiment, like you keep saying, but yeah, experimentation.
yeah, yeah. And I think I'm most happy about like the fact that, I don't have the most giant channel on Twitch. Like I've been a pretty slow, steady growth for the time that I've been on Twitch.
Yeah,
And I also kind of attribute that to me not being really full time with it. I've always been kind of part time.
yeah,
But I will say that like all the people that are there, there are some people still on my stream from 6 years ago. In fact, there's probably at least 10 of them, which is kind of insane,
no, I
because
can,
back
yeah,
then,
like I think um I can sort of relate to that with my channel as well. I think obviously I've been on there like a third of your time, but I still have people that come back to my streams every single day, and I think I can relate to that feeling of having them people behind you. Every viewer to me, and I'm sure you could agree, has like the same meaning, like you appreciate them as much as being there and stuff. But like the certain amount of people that have been there for that long and showing you that amount of support will always have like a certain place in your heart, especially for people like supporting your music and stuff like that as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like there have definitely been people that have left for what I mean. I it's also been Twitch has also been the kind of place where like I've had to really draw boundaries because there have been like in the past, I mean, people would leave if I broke up with a boyfriend, like if they got to know the boyfriend on stream or whatever. I had a whole bunch of people one time leave because of that. Like
That's
because
so
I
bad.
I know. So it was there's been drama, and so I mean, just like the people that have stuck around, it means so much more to me that they've stuck around through all that stuff when other people left for like the most ridiculous reasons, as if they know my
That's
personal
very
life.
personal. It's
I
like you
know.
changed your life,
It's
and there you go.
like
I'm leaving. It's like,
they have no
wow,
idea what's going
that's
on.
rather controlling. Well,
So,
at
but I
least you're
mean,
in a
so
happy place now.
yeah,
They
it's
weren't worth it. They weren't worth it.
yeah. So I'm just so thankful to the people that have stuck by, and there's so many of them. It's really such a blessing.
So when also like going back to kind of Blue and stuff, when did you actually decide to push out your music to the world? When were you like, let's click this big red button and see what happens?
After my Twitch people like they said it so many times, like, so when are you releasing music? That I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
But it's like it's not that I didn't want to. It's just that I was scared to.
How
Um,
come? How come?
oh gosh, I didn't even oh like I didn't even think I was a songwriter. Like I don't know, like I had been writing for years. I wrote my first song in fourth grade. I wrote in high school, middle school, but I never thought of myself as a songwriter. I guess I just had in my head that a songwriter was like this person that was just so brilliant and everything, and I just didn't think I was. Even when I released my first single, Blue, I was like, okay, I'm calling myself a songwriter. Here we go. Like, I wasn't even fully invested into myself being a songwriter. I was like, am I a songwriter? I don't know.
That must
So,
be amazing for you though, like looking back at that now and being like, oh, I did do that, and like I'm here with tons of more, singles and stuff.
yeah. Well, and that's also when I realized I was like, okay, you've been literally writing for so long. You are a songwriter. Like,
It's kind of having that confidence in yourself as well, I
oh,
imagine. It's
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
because I like personally, if I was doing music, I'd be very nervous for like how people are gonna react, especially if it's like, a new thing for you, like, yeah, I sing on Twitch, but like are people actually gonna like, my words, the lyrics, and like because of like any song, you have an amazing voice, so I'll just put that out there. I'm sure people
Thank
can agree
you.
who's listening. But like, like some people's lyrics in songs can just like, it's all about the lyrics as well. So I think
Yeah.
you do own that as well. I do agree.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I'm
How many
just,
songs do you have now? Like, how many songs?
I want to say it's like 13 or 14, something
So that's
like
quite
that.
a lot. And like, so you said 20, was it 2019, did you say?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that's amazing.
I've just been trying to release as much as I can. And some of it's, I'm kind of in that stage of my career where it's like I still want my songs to be quality. Like they've always got to pass the quality check, but I'm trying to do quantity too because I feel like that's what gets me out there more as a new artist and
Yeah.
gets me more known when I have more music, more momentum. So, I'm not being as perfectionist, I would say. Like let's say I have like three songs that I think are pretty good, like pretty good. Instead of saying, okay, I'm just gonna release one, because the other two are really good, but I just don't know if they're like the best ever. So I instead of that, I release all of them. Because honestly, at the same time, it's like what I think sometimes is my best ever is actually ends up not getting as many streams as I thought it would. And the stuff that I thought was not amazing is the stuff that has almost 1 million streams now. So,
Yeah, no, I bet it's kind of like trying to have that like balance
so
in a way. Like
I
I
just
want to
release
put out as much as I
everything,
can,
everything.
but also I don't want it to be terrible. So like,
Exactly, exactly.
do you have
But
like, I imagine you have songs that are like you've kind of made and have you like kind of scrapped them? Have you like,
yes. Yes, there's
do you have a
definitely
lot of
those.
them?
They never see the light of day.
It's just like you just gotta chuck it
Yeah.
into like a safe. No one will know about this.
Yeah. I there aren't an incredible amount of them. Because I will say, like, 1 out of 5 songs I write, I actually really do like. Um, and in the moment, actually, sometimes I like them all, honestly. And then I come back later, I'm like, okay, well, I might like that, but I don't know if everyone else, I don't know if it's the best song, to release. But yeah, there's definitely the ones that are just like, nope, they're never really they're practice songs, honestly. That's how I think of them. They're like this is the song that helped me get to this other song that I wrote and was awesome and I released.
Yeah, like I'm sure like I know probably you have this where like you have like an idea and you've had it written down for ages, like some lyrics, and you kind of come back to it like, I don't know, like a couple weeks later, a month, and you're like, well, that kind of goes with what I'm writing there. And then like you kind of mix the two together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That happens too. Yeah. Yeah. Like sometimes some of my ideas from other songs will end up in a final idea that I have where two will sort of morph together. Yeah. That definitely
Well, so
happens.
that's what I mean. Like you said, like it's good to like just keep writing. Like even if an idea comes across your head, like just write it down.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
find yourself doing that? Like, do you just like wake up in the middle of the night and you just have
Sometimes.
like a notebook next to you, like, imagine you?
You know, I I know plenty of songwriters that have those moments. I think I sort of just I'm always thinking a lot of different stuff, but when I sit down to write a song, I think that's when the most creativity flows. Sometimes I'll think of a melody, sometimes, and I'll record that real quick and put it on my voice memos. Um, but yeah, like usually when I'm in my session, that's where I'm just like full focus, and that's usually where the creativity flows.
Yeah,
I'll
just kind
say
of like
that,
shutting out the whole world. Like, no one speak to me. I'm in my zone.
yeah, but it's like in order to have those wonderful sessions where the creativity flows, I have to have a certain lifestyle outside of that. So like if I'm sitting in my streaming room just working all day long on different stuff or just, you know, not getting out there and experiencing life at all, then my ideas are really stale. So getting out there and actually living a little bit really helps the creativity to flow. So
Yeah, like honestly, like nature. Does nature help? Does nature help you?
a little bit. I mean, it de-stresses me more than anything. And when I'm not stressed, I write better. So yes,
That's
it
perfect
definitely
then. Like,
helps.
there you go.
Yeah.
Tips to be a songwriter with Jen. Don't be stressed.
Yes. I mean, and
Go
I
sit
know
in a
this
field and watch
also,
some flowers.
right. And I know this also too, because I've had the worst writer's block the last month. And it's because I've been just so incredibly stressed about some stuff and I've just been out of it. I've been trying to write a certain song here for like 2 months and the producer's been waiting on me and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I have a horrible writer's block. And so but I've been realizing that like more creativity is flowing. The more I de-stress, the more I just breathe and just get quiet. I like the other day, I went outside on my patio and I sat out there for half the day just sitting.
Well, that's
Like,
perfect then. I think like we
yeah,
keep saying, like going back to like balance of like trying to keep yourself,
yeah. That's how I
de-stressed. Like,
know. Yeah, and that's how I know I'm really burnt out when I can just go outside and just sit for
yeah,
hours.
honestly, I can
Like,
imagine. I can imagine. Like, I feel like a lot of people forget that a lot of work goes into songwriting. It's not just, I just came up with this on the spot and I'm singing it and boom, I can release it the next day. Like, I think a lot of people
right.
forget to appreciate how much goes into the song, let alone that even when you've made the song, the marketing, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's a lot. It's a lot, I can imagine.
yeah. Definitely. And
And
even when you finish writing the song, like I will sit and work with my vocal coach and we'll make sure that I have all of the right, the vocal tones, that I'm singing stuff the way I should be singing it. And then sometimes she helps me with how something is sung and maybe we move a word around or something like that. So there's lots of like trial and error fixing the song until I actually get in the studio to record it. So, yeah.
well, I think that just generally shows your dedication, because like honestly, like I can probably imagine there's lots of people out there that don't take that time to, go to vocal coaches, don't take the time to like, you know, merge their songs, write all these lyrics, take the time to like put
Yeah.
their songs out there, do Twitch as well, and like, have all this stuff going on. So I think that definitely shows
Yeah.
your dedication,
Thank
100%.
you so much. Thank you.
So like kind of with the whole, I guess the word inspiration, do you have any inspirations? Like
Um,
favorite artists?
Yeah, I mean, it's some like I have my all-time inspirations, which those will be like the pretty much the artists I grew up with, which is going to be like I got ABBA, the Beatles,
Yes, we love
Ray
ABBA.
Charles, Styx, let's see, Enya, Celine Dion. A little bit of
Yes,
Whitney Houston.
we love Whitney.
Gosh, a lot of those. The Eagles. A lot of different ones like that. And then like my recent ones, those are always kind of changing. I know I have huge respect for Emily Sandé.
Yes,
Um,
I love Emily Sandé. Like
yes.
I've kind of grown out of Emily Sandé. So like when I was growing up, I remember a lot of her songs. I always forget the names of them. Heaven is obviously one of them, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I always forget the one as well. That she has one. You might know the name of it. If you named one of her really popular songs, I remember it.
Breathing Underwater.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I know gosh, I know so many of them. Oh, Next to Me. That's a popular one.
Yes, there we go. Next to
Okay.
me.
Yep, yep.
Honestly, she's
That's how
very
I first
talented.
discovered her.
She's very
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah,
She
I
has
just
so many
love
other
her
songs. And I feel
lyrics.
like when I end this podcast, I'm gonna like remember them all.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna remember them all. Do you have
Yeah.
any like like you said like kind of more present day artists? Do you have any others, or like is it kind of just like a
Yeah.
growing list of people?
It is definitely a growing list, but there's also Sia. I like Sia's songwriting as
Love
well.
Sia.
I think she's really amazing how she's able to always just replicate this perfect formula of a catchy hook. And I think that's super inspiring. Um, and then also the lots of like one-off songs might inspire me. Like there's I don't even know how to say his name, so I won't say it and butcher it, but it's actually a Chinese song that I found, like a Chinese pop song I found while I was watching a Chinese drama, and it's so good.
Okay.
And then honestly, I listen to a lot of K-drama. Sorry, K-dramas. I listen to a lot of K-pop. I watch K-dramas, but I listen to a lot of K-pop,
I think I heard this on
Korean
your
pop.
Twitch actually. Yeah, you said
Yes.
this I think before that you watch a lot of K-drama,
Yes.
which
But
people
I
don't know is
also
like a Korean drama, like Korean music.
yes, yes. So I listen to a lot of Korean music. Um,
Is it
but
bands?
gosh,
Because I know there's like a lot of famous Korean, bands like, Blackpink, BTS,
it's
stuff like that.
yeah, it's bands, but then it's also like their solo artists and different stuff like that.
Still,
Um,
I'm very uncultured in that way. Like, the only ones I know is BTS and Blackpink, and I know they're like the mainstream ones. Like,
okay,
I
yeah.
wouldn't know any others.
Yeah, there's like, there's Twice, which is another group. They're really fun. And I like a girl named IU.
Okay.
She's really talented. Her voice is beautiful.
They all
And
have
then
such amazing voices.
they
Like,
do. They do.
generally, they're just incredible. I feel like people that are in like K-pop, like their voices are so unique and like it's not just like kind of I know like in the whole mainstream kind of music industry, there's kind of the repetitiveness of some songs or like, you know, choruses and stuff like that. Like there might be like some repetition that that's kind of similar to that. But like I feel like K-pop, their talent really shines. Like I noticed that when I'm
Yeah.
listening to stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're dancing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was saying
Yeah.
this the other day. Like, do you know the Late Late Show, like carpool karaoke?
Yes, love Carpool.
So I love it so much, and Blackpink was actually on it literally
Oh,
today.
oh, that's
So I was
amazing.
watching it this morning, and I was like, they were speaking about how they were at Coachella and like Tokyo, like 100,000 people,
Yeah.
and I was watching their Coachella performance, and I was like, how are they dancing and hitting them notes?
Yes. I mean, they've been training since they were very young, very
Yeah,
young.
they were
And
saying
like that's
this
been their
in carpool
life.
karaoke.
Yeah, that's been their life. Um, I mean, yeah, they got a whole system over there in Korea.
Yes, it's
Um,
like mental. Like it sounds a little bit strange. Like when I was listening to them talk about it, like I know some people in Blackpink, I don't know their names, but I know some of them were like from Australia and other stuff. So
yes.
I don't know if all of them are from Australia, but I know one of them is.
Yes, I think Rose
Yeah,
is
I
from
think yeah.
Australia, I think. And
So
then there's
yes,
Lisa. Yeah.
they moved to Korea when they were like 16, and they kind of went to this school that like made them do
Yes.
dance, singing, how to perform, how to like do everything pretty much.
Yes.
It
I mean,
sounds like it kind of sounded like a factory.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they like I'm from what I've heard, they didn't get to see their families often at all.
Yeah.
Um, so it was and just like I mean like and then they'd have like a whole bunch of people that went to the school, but only a few would get selected and be a part of an actual K-pop
It's
group.
crazy. It's just
Um,
crazy.
so you
Like
could
the
potentially put all
amount
the work in and then not even get put in a group.
exactly like the amount of like self dedication you have to have for that. Like I think they were even saying like they only get one Sunday off in a fortnight. I was like 2 days off in a month. The
Yeah.
amount of self like thrive you have to have for yourself to like keep pushing yourself, saying I'm gonna be a number one, and like
Yeah.
against all these people, like that shows how talented they are. Like going back to how talented they are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even after that training, though, it's like, I don't know how the independent musician market is over there in Korea, but I would imagine that even if they didn't get picked for any group or anything, they could potentially go off and make their own independent career with everything that they learned. So, I mean, it
Exactly.
wouldn't
They
all
could be
be
like they could just
wasted.
kind of skip the whole thing anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's I don't know. Like for me personally, about that, I kind of think it's a little bit sad in a way. I don't know if you agree with me. Like I feel
Yeah.
like going through all of that is I wouldn't say too much, but it like I said, it's kind of like them being in a factory. Like we're gonna make you into these
Yeah.
celebrities.
Yeah. I mean, their contracts I mean, again, this is everything that I've just heard. I don't know 100% for sure, but
Yeah, same.
it sounds like their contracts are pretty tough. Like there's rules that they have to abide by. Like basically not. No, I think they have a rule that they can't date. For instance.
Very
Um,
controlling.
yeah, and I think there's one for no drinking or something. It just yeah, there's lots of rules. Which
Wow.
yeah,
That's just like mental. Like it's kind of like you're signing your life away in a way. It really is.
yeah, it's
It
like
kind of reminds you of like a Hunger Games situation in a way.
yeah, it
It
seems a
very much is
little
like you have a
intense.
chance to be a celebrity. We're going to throw you into this ring. If you come out on
Yeah,
top, you have a better chance at being, kind of on top of all these people. And I think people like say Blackpink, they've definitely, they've made it, right? They've done it. But the
yeah.
amount of effort they would go to, like, it must feel very rewarding for them now. But they're still so busy, right?
Oh yeah,
But if that's what they want to
absolutely.
do, if that's what they love, hopefully one day when they're grey and old, they get to sit back and relax on a patio and just
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they will. Just
with all
certain
their money, just be like,
sacrifices.
oh,
Yeah. But I think about it sometimes. I'm just like, okay, if I were ever in their position, I think back and I'm just like, I really didn't like my middle school or high school experience, like grade school. If I could have been
mhm.
thrown into a music school where I was just doing music all the time, I think I would have been really happy.
Yeah, like I feel
But
like maybe they were fine. Maybe they were fine.
I mean, but then there's a dark side to it all as well. Like it's a big old rabbit hole, the world of K-pop.
Yeah,
Um,
it sounds interesting. I feel like
the
any people
image.
probably now have probably clicked on the podcast and doing all their research into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
But
we've given them a little bit of a teaser. So yeah, I recommend checking it
yeah.
out. I mean, even stuff like mainstream stuff like they even spoke about it on Carpool Karaoke and stuff like I said. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
I'm actually shouting out James Corden, so there you go.
Hey. Love James
You're
Corden.
welcome, James.
He's
What are your
freaking
plans for
awesome.
like the future then? Like I know we just spoke about the past, but like what are your plans for the future in music?
Yeah, well, I basically I'm gonna take every single opportunity I have whenever I see there's a festival, whenever there's anything I ever hear about, I'm just gonna be submitting myself to everything. Because now more than ever, I think I'm just ready to start performing live officially. I think I've held back from it for a while now, and I'm so ready. So I'm gonna get out there and do more live stuff, and then while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna keep releasing more music. And I'm also diving into the world of sync licensing, so I'm going to be
Okay.
submitting a lot of my music for film and TV. Um,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah. So I'm already I do have there's one independent film that the here in Atlanta that there's a director he asked if I could write a song for the movie. So we're gonna see how that goes. But that won't be till
You got
later
some
in the
like
year.
James Bond stuff going on now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the song I wrote has those feels. Because it
Like
is
Skyfall, like Adele, Skyfall. You got
sort of. It's you'll see. Yeah, I'm releasing it a little bit later in the year. It's already been recorded and everything though. Um,
okay. I'm looking
So
forward to hearing
yeah,
from that. Is it like an intense song? Like, you know, you got like the film
it's
sounds, like the dramatic
a little
noises.
bit. It sounds a little cinematic. It's called Dark of Night. Um,
Oh, sounds like a
yeah,
bit like Batman.
it is. Okay, so yeah, the chorus, there's a sound used in the chorus that reminds me of like Batman commercials, like when they're advertising like Gotham. It's this very dark sound, and I just that's the exact way I described it to the producer I was working with for that one. I was like, it's like a Batman like trailer sound. Like
I can imagine how that went down. It's like, yeah,
yeah.
I took
Yeah.
inspiration from Batman for the
Yeah.
chorus.
But we found it though, and it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So, and actually it's half produced by me as well as Justin, who is Justin Cielo. He's actually we met by him he's a guitarist. And
Oh,
so
okay.
he plays guitar for a lot of my stuff, but one day we sat down and just decided to produce this song together. So, yeah, it was his first time producing. He did amazing. And then I was producing too, like hands-on. So yeah, I haven't spent so much time with a record as I have with this one. So, like
I mean, that's
personal, up
amazing. Like,
close personal time with it, you know.
I think
So
like that must be a whole different experience for you, like making a song for a film, like having like, you
yeah.
know, someone reaching out to you and be like, you know, it's a dedicated thing that I'm gonna make for you. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Like,
is.
obviously watching the film as well, I know it's like an independent film, like still kind of seeing like
Yeah.
that song being made for that, like a reason in a way.
Yeah, like, and I love that the vision of that director is that, you know, they're kind of like me. This is their, well, like for them, this is like their first feature film, and they're just throwing us, you know, a movie out there, you know, seeing where it can go and everything. And it feels like the first time I released my first song, and it feels like, you know, whenever I release another song, it's the same kind of thing. Let me throw this out there,
Yeah, like every song must have a different
see what
experience, right?
happens. Yeah. So I admire his perseverance, and I'm excited to see the movie. I've only read the script. So, yeah.
So, like, speaking about experiences, what was your experience of your latest single, I Cry for the Both of Us? Because personally, it's a bop. I love it so much. Go stream,
Yeah.
go stream.
Yeah. So that one, um, gosh, that one, there was that one was a little bit of a struggle just because of just some stuff that went on behind the scenes with getting that released finally.
Yeah.
So when I did, it was like, okay, here's the song. Just do what you want with it. Go listen, guys. Like, I'm just like, I'm done. But no, I was like, I was also just like happy to release it and see everyone's, you know, reactions as always, and just get another song out there because it had been a little bit too long since I had released my last one. I don't like to have too much space in between releases. So,
So, what was your
um,
song before I Cry for the Both of Us then?
ooh, gosh, I want to say it was Blue Acoustic.
Oh, yes, of course. We said that, didn't we? Yeah. I
Yeah, I
think,
want to.
like being consistent with, like, I know we spoke about it earlier, like being consistent, but also having, like, you know, taking the time to make the quality as well is what, you know, I think that always pays off. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to rush into it.
Right, right. And that's, you know, I had made a goal for myself this year to release 5 singles. And I've only released one and we're 4 months in, so I'm just like, you know, I have them cooking. Like they're coming, but I'm just like, you know, these might be back to back to back because, you know, the year is
We're gonna get a lot
almost
of
half
you. We're gonna
over.
get a lot of Jen. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, there we go. You know, it might just be
it's like
like back to
everyone's just
back.
excited because you know we're just gonna get a lot of Jen. Like I feel like we're gonna get to like December, you know, 30th, and then we're just gonna get like 4 singles.
Yeah.
It's like I've released an
Oh,
album because I wasn't ready to release some singles.
yes. Yes.
Have you ever like
Um
thought about releasing like an album? Like, you know, I'm gonna release this many songs.
I have briefly thought about it before. I released an EP before, and I think
Yes, I
I
saw
had
that. I saw that.
trouble. Yeah, like I had trouble. I could have marketed it better. And honestly, when I released that EP, I was coming out of a really bad breakup, so the marketing kind of fell flat on my part because I was
Yeah.
just over here like sobbing over a relationship.
No.
So, so, you know, like the marketing kind of fell flat on that one. So honestly, like I feel like I could have done a lot better with that. And the EP could have, you know, done a little bit better. But I think that there's definitely, if you're going to release a huge body of work, there's definitely a formula, I feel like, because it's such a singles driven market these days that if you are going to release
Yeah.
a full body of work, it's like you need to do it a specific way and really market each song well. So it seems like a daunting task to me. So that's
It's a
why I'm
big
kind of
jump, isn't it? It's a very big jump. Like
yeah,
for the fans, like I know like person like people like me, I would love it because I would listen to all the songs,
yeah,
but like any album, like you've got artists like say, I know for instance Taylor Swift released Midnights, was it November? I
yeah,
think it was end of last year, and like she has kind of released the whole album, but like she's got songs like Anti-Hero, Bejeweled, and like
yes,
songs like that. Like she's really pushed to singles.
yes,
So like the whole album, yeah, is amazing. Like it's one of my favorite albums. I've got it on vinyl right next to me right now. And
yeah.
I love it. But I love the whole album. But there's certain songs on there that like you have to push as singles as well.
Yeah, and so also the struggle with it too that I find is like when I released my EP, it was the songs that were released as singles that ended up doing pretty well, but the ones that weren't released as singles, those didn't do as well because it's like, my following is only so big right now, for people just to go and, and listen to the other music besides the big singles that have been marketed a whole bunch. So it's like I would either need to just market every single song, or I even had a friend that released all of her album's songs as individual singles, but it was still part of an album. I thought that was interesting.
That's
So there was like a
interesting. Yeah, I've
new
not seen that approach
single.
before.
It was like a new single every 2 weeks or something like that. And I thought that was, I'll have to go back and ask her how that worked out because it was very interesting. I don't know. It's just a different animal, but I do think it's also the kind of thing where if you have a big following, it's a lot easier. Like an
Yeah, like
established following.
I
Yeah.
think you see like a mainstream artist like doing the approach of, okay, I will start off, I'll release a song first. So like going back to like, I don't know, Taylor Swift or like say someone I know about like Adele, like with her latest album 30, she released Easy on Me before the album came out. Then she
Yes.
released the album and then she kind of like pushed singles like Oh My God and like I Drink Wine, like she made music videos for them, like the
Yes.
visuals and stuff like that. So like you see artists taking different approaches because I
Yeah.
know another artist I know a lot about is like I don't know if you know Jen, but Beyonce's Renaissance album.
I maybe a few, but
So
not
like
too well
songs
known.
like Break My Soul and stuff like that, like her. Do you know the
Oh,
song?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard that one. Okay.
So like she's taken a really strange approach. So I'm actually going next month to see her live, but
Oh,
she's
cool.
kind of pushed songs like Cuff It and Break My Soul, which is some of her singles on there. But she's
Yeah.
not released any music videos of them, and the album's been out for like a good year nearly. So it's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
like I don't know if it's her team, but like she's kind of doing a very strange approach of kind of like I'm gonna push it out so hard when I go like I don't know on tour, but like she kind of
Yeah,
hasn't done
maybe.
something with that. So like it's kind of like that's another approach to do is like okay, I'll release the album, but like in a bit I'll come back to it and I'll give you music videos. I'll give you a single. I will push that song further because then that will
Right.
get
There's like
trending.
the time in between. That's interesting. I
Like I
wonder
think
if that's effective.
I don't know. Like I guess we'll find out because like
Yeah.
I my theory on it is that she's gonna release the album. Obviously, she's Beyonce, she's a huge following, so all her songs like trending on TikTok. I mean, she had a couple singles which are like on the radio and stuff, and then obviously I think she's waiting for her kind of I guess the hype to die down, and then she's
Oh,
gonna show
yeah.
her face, and then she's gonna release the visuals and stuff, and then I think it's gonna
Yeah.
like kind of be like the whole album released again.
Yeah. Or maybe
So I
maybe
guess
she's even just stretching it out until tour, so that people will still
yeah, I
be
guess.
hyped by tour.
I
Um,
pretty much think that she's kind of just like, if you have that following like Beyonce,
yeah,
you could
it's a
do that, right?
different,
Like she can
yeah,
risk
a
that.
different approach for sure.
Like I guess someone like an indie person like you definitely couldn't risk that because you're not going to release an album then a year later start doing stuff for it.
Yeah,
But
like right now, I feel like every song I release is really just an advertisement for, hey, come listen to the rest of my music. It's sort of
yeah,
just like,
exactly. But I think everyone has to have a different
yeah.
approach. Like obviously people like Beyonce started just like you did. So
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I think she had like somewhat of a team behind her at
Yeah,
this point.
no, yeah. Like when I
Um,
say that, like obviously people
yeah,
like Beyonce were very, what's the word? Like lucky or like very well off in a way. Like she, obviously, I'm not saying she didn't
yeah,
work for it. People like I don't know. People that we obviously we spoke about is like Emily Sandé and Adele. I know them artists. I don't know too much about how Beyonce started, but I know people like Adele, and I'm
yeah.
sure Emily Sandé. She was on a TV show, right? I think she might have been on a talent show.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how she came to be. I know Beyonce was in Destiny's Child.
Yes,
Um,
yes. So
but
she kind of had that leg, didn't she? She kind of had that. Here we go, then I'm gonna go to
yeah,
singles. Kind of like what we've
yeah.
seen, I guess, people like Harry Styles do over the last year or so, take off from
Oh,
his
yeah,
band, and then,
yeah.
and I mean,
I
he's
mean,
doing it
like,
really well, isn't he? So
yeah. I mean, I think I forget the last time, like the first time he released a single. I feel like it was several years ago, but it wasn't until like this recent album where I've just seen him explode.
yeah, like
Um,
it's kind of like, I mean, he had like Watermelon Sugar, didn't he? Like he had his first album, which was his debut, and then he
yeah.
had like the song "Sign of the Times." Do you know "Sign of the Times"?
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he had his
And
second album, which is Fine Line. So my dad, funny enough, is a very big fan of Harry Styles, and so is my sister. So we're
oh,
seeing
cool.
seeing him in a after Beyonce, actually 2 weeks after.
Oh my gosh, that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I'm very excited. But what was I saying? His kind of like his new album. So he had like Fine Line, then he had Harry's House, and I think that's kind of when he just exploded and made his name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, is it the one with the sushi restaurant song?
Yeah, music for a sushi restaurant, and as it
Yes.
was.
Okay.
I've also
That
got that vinyl
album is
next to me
really
right
good.
now.
I love that
Yeah,
album.
I'm a big fan of Harry. Actually, he's good. He's good. But
Yeah.
people like that, they kind of had that step into it. But One Direction came from the talent show, X Factor.
Yes, I remember
So
that.
one thing we
Totally
haven't done
remember
actually
that.
today, Jennifer, we haven't done our Would You Rather question, which is actually
Yes.
one of my favorite parts of the podcast.
Okay, I'm
If
ready.
you didn't know what it is, you want to listen to an episode. Basically, every episode, no matter if we have a guest or it's just me and Henry, we have a little Would You Rather question. And today's Would You Rather question is music themed, funnily enough, because if you didn't know, if you haven't been listening, Jennifer writes music. So the Would You Rather question for today is: Would you
All right.
rather listen to a song with terrible vocals but brilliant lyrics, or a song with amazing vocals but with horrible lyrics? It's a long question.
Mm. Okay, so I guess it depends on how horrible the lyrics are. Like if they're extremely offensive and like,
No, I don't know if we were going for the approach of like them being very slanderous. I think just like
okay, okay,
I'm
so they're just
thinking lyrics that
bad.
just like have no meaning.
Bad. Okay, then I would go for the vocals. I really, I
I
think
think I would
actually,
as well.
because it's like when it comes down to it, we listen. I feel like we listen more to the melody of things than we do like the words. I think the
The
words are kind of
catchiness, yeah.
secondary. So yeah,
I mean, do
I
you have
would.
a song that sits with you that like you find very catchy, but you don't like it being stuck in your head? Do you know what I mean by
Uh,
that?
yeah, I feel like there was Oh yeah,
There's
I'm
a lot
trying
on
to.
TikTok, like on social media, and I'm
Yeah,
like, God,
there.
I hate this song. Can you get it out of my head?
Oh, actually, it might be. Wait a second. I think it's "Money" by Lisa from Blackpink.
Oh, I
um.
think I know the one.
Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics of that one, but the beats and everything is
I would try
fire.
sing it so I can remember it, but my voice, like
Um,
I said, it's not good. It's not good.
there's
How does
this
it
one part.
go?
There's this one part where she's just like dollar
Oh
bills,
yes. Oh my
money.
God. This is like jumping
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
on my money. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God, no.
I don't.
I
I'm
feel
just
like
like I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics. Like I feel like they could have been more creative, but I think the overall vibe and the beat, and everything, and the voice is good. So it does get stuck in my head though.
I think you find that in a lot of like speaking. No slant to Blackpink. I do like them,
Yeah,
but a
I
lot of
love
their songs are
Blackpink.
like they make a lot of noises like ka-chow, boom boom, clack, and stuff like that. They say it a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I think in their new single, like Pink Venom, they go like this, that Pink Venom,
yes.
get him, and they keep going, get him.
Right. Okay, and that one's kind of the same thing for me. Like I like other, like for instance, one of my favorite songs by them is called "Yeah Yeah Yeah."
I don't
Say
know that
yeah
one.
yeah yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
We're
dun.
getting
Like
a concert right here.
it's like an anthem. I love it. It's so
I might
good.
have heard it. I probably have heard it.
So Pink Venom also wasn't really my favorite, but it's so freaking catchy. I don't, again,
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
I love it, but I
yeah,
also kind of like don't.
it's like the
Like
lyrics are just, I don't know, they don't do
some
it
of
for
my
me.
favorite artists, like
But
say like Adele and stuff, like I appreciate their voice, but also their lyrics.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
definitely.
with Blackpink, I guess it's like I appreciate their vocals, but sometimes when I listen to the lyrics, I don't know if it's because like they're kind of K-pop, so they're kind of going Korean as well. I don't know if it's kind of like
Yeah.
a mix of
Well,
the two.
yeah, I want, it definitely is a mix a lot of the time. Um,
The, yeah, like the way I kind of think about it is like if say someone like I don't know, like you were singing it, Jen, would I not like because it's you, but like someone that's like I don't know, someone that's like pure like pop, like say I don't know,
yeah, like
let's
more
bring back.
melodic, kind of.
Yeah, like would I listen to it if someone like mainstream like do you know what I mean? Like if they were singing it, would I
Yeah,
listen to it? But because it's Blackpink and like K-pop, it
yeah,
works.
yeah. It's like their swagger and the fact that they rap too, like it's just it does work. Like, the lyrics that may be less than what I think are amazing lyrics. I
Yeah.
feel like it works because they have that cool factor.
I think
Um,
like yeah, like saying same with that song as their songs as well. Like it kind of like the chorus sometimes works, but then like the verses, I sometimes feel like they don't fit. Do you get that feeling?
like with Blackpink stuff.
Yeah, like Blackpink stuff. I feel like sometimes the
Yeah.
verses feel like a different song to the chorus.
Yes, yes, sometimes. And it's like I love them, but there's other groups that I like
Appreciate,
their
yeah.
songs even more. Like there's a few Blackpink songs that I absolutely love. But not all of them really grab me melodically and lyrically.
Yeah, like I have a lot of artists like that, I would say as well. Like I like them, but I'm not gonna say I love the artist because I only like a couple of their songs, if that makes sense.
Yes, I
It's
know
like an
I know that too. Like
it's like an
I'm like
artist I
that
listen
too.
to a lot too at the moment. It's like Scissor. I don't know if you know Scissor. Do you know Scissor?
A little bit. I've been starting to listen to some of her stuff.
Yeah, like I really like some of her songs, but then some of her songs are also like some songs that like are just not the genre I like or like prefer to listen to. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
like Scissor, but like I'm not gonna go on my time and listen to their whole album. Whereas like someone like you is like I've why is it someone like you? No. It sounds like I'm speaking about Adele now because I said someone like you. I meant no, someone like you, like Jen. There you go. Uh, if I was listening to all your songs, I wouldn't mind because I like all your music. That's kind of what I prefer to
Oh,
listen to,
thanks.
if that makes sense.
Thanks. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say about the Would You Rather question. Do you have any more on the Would You Rather question?
I don't think so. Yeah. I rather hear that beautiful melody and.
I just rather hear the melody. That's the moral of the question. Do you have
Yeah.
any questions for me, Jen? Do you have any questions?
Man, when did you start your podcast? I'm just curious.
Oh, okay. Like this is only our sixth episode. I got it wrong on the last episode, which is really embarrassing. Um, so it was only like 6 or 7 weeks ago. Like it's very new, and it's kind
Cool,
of like a
very
dream of
cool.
mine. So like I was like, I went
Yay.
up, sure, let's see how it goes, and that's kind of like what we've been doing. I guess it's kind of like it's getting new. Like it's very different, and I wanna make it different as well. I said this quite a lot on the episodes, but like obviously as a Twitch streamer who chats a lot, I don't want to make it the same as my streams because what's the point in listening
Yeah.
to the podcast? And the amount
Yeah.
of like love I'm kind of experiencing for it, and like the feedback and like the reviews and stuff, like it's going really well, and like it's good to see that as well.
Wonderful.
And like a lot of people in real life are like saying they love it and stuff. So like a lot of my friends, like people that don't watch my streams,
Yay.
like and like even my family, like they like listening to it and stuff like that. So it's good. And like the big dream for me is like to have people like you on it because like I said, I'm a huge fan. Like I'm not
Oh,
trying
I
not to like
appreciate it.
fanboy about it all, but like I'm a big fan of you. So
Oh,
like
thank you
trying to
so
keep it cool.
much. Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
like
No, I thank you.
but like that's what I mean. Like when I got your email, do not expose me, chat, because I kind of went like a little bit crazy. Because like I was like okay, when we started like kind of planning out the podcast, we are like okay, let's sort out a few special guests so we don't have to like think about it in the future, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, okay, let's work our way up. So, the first special guest we had was like one of my streaming friends. So I knew they'd want to be on it instantly. So I was like, okay, people from my chat know them. Let's get them on. And then I'm also part of an organization called Cryptic, who are kind of like a esports slash content creation organization. And then I
Oh,
had
nice.
kind of like my content boss on here, who's also kind of known from my chat. And that was amazing. And yeah, that was like really different. So like also making everything kind of different in every episode is amazing. And
Wonderful.
then now you, so I was like, okay, let's kind of throw the ball really far and see if I can, get someone like you on here, which is really different as well. Like having a singer on here is something like
Yeah.
I hope people that listen to this don't think, oh, like on the last episode you kind of did this. Like I kind of want to have that feeling
Good.
of like different guests. Like I want to have some YouTubers
That's
on
very
here. I want to
cool.
have, people more close to me on here and stuff like that. So it's
That's
going good.
awesome. I like that. The variety. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
so like also the kind of the way the podcast works is like we release 4 episodes a month, so it was going to be two episodes a month. But we did it to 4 because we just like doing it too much for some reason. So it's like one episode so so 4 episodes a month. One episode's me and Henry, and then it's like 2 episodes of me and Henry every month, and 2 episodes of a special guest. So it's like one episode of me and Henry, one episode of a special guest, vice versa, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like that kind of mixes things up and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, it does.
that's the question answered. I'm enjoying
That's
it.
very cool. I'm
And I
excited
think
for
it was just
you.
amazing having you on here, like I said. So yeah, it's I
I loved
my
being on
fans,
it.
like when I told my community, they were very, very excited. So like I'm excited to hear what people have to think
Aw.
about this. I'm excited to see. I mean, people were just like kind of blown away because I was a bit like I kept teasing it. So like when I
Aw.
first started saying my special guest is gonna be like my first special guest, I was kind of like people kept saying like I said guess it, I guess who it's gonna be, and the people were saying like this person, that person, and then people kept saying Jennifer Jess, Jennifer Jess, and I was like you guys are guessing too far up. Like we're not at that level yet. So people weren't expecting you to be on it like just yet.
Aw.
So like yeah, I only like announced
Yeah.
it the other day. So like the way I announced it, I raided you. Like sorry, when I raided you the other day on Twitch, if you know
Yeah.
what raiding is, it's like sending my viewers to Jen's stream. So
Yeah.
basically, what I did, I was like, the next special guest is, and then I kind of just sent them to your stream and see what they did. So that's
Oh
kind of
my
why people were
God.
freaking out in your chat because
Yeah.
they were like, oh my god, it's Jen. So I think
That's
that was
so
I
cool.
didn't plan on announcing it like that. I just like when I started streaming, I saw the notification on you streaming on my phone, and I was like, oh, okay, this is perfect. I can't miss
That's
this.
perfect timing. Oh my
So I was like,
gosh.
thanks, Jen. This is amazing. We both started streaming at the
That's
same time.
amazing.
So yeah,
Yay. Oh my gosh.
that's your
Well,
question.
thank
Do you have any
you.
other questions for me? Do you have any other questions for me?
Man, I mm,
You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
I was just thinking, yeah, no, it's before we go. How's Paris? You said you went to Paris.
I
And
did. We
I'm
spoke
thinking
about
about
this
going to
on
Paris.
today's. I'm gonna say today's episode because the episode actually came out today, but it's last
Before
week.
yeah, before
It was
it
amazing. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I've been to Paris before, but like I only went to Disney, so we kind of mixed up with Disney and Paris. So it was kind of like my first time seeing like the Eiffel Tower and stuff, and
Oh,
it was a whole different
lovely.
experience. Like I loved it. I've
That's
kind of
awesome.
my family kind of like to go to like Spain and like America and like kind of a bit further away like Italy and stuff. So like kind of going to somewhere on the
Yeah.
trains like the Eurostar was
Yes.
really cool. Like not going on a plane and going on a train. So
Right.
we're thinking about going to TwitchCon Paris.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
maybe. I might just wait for it to come to London. I might just wait a
Yeah.
little bit longer. But yeah, like it's just so easy. Like we've just kind of organized like for my birthday next year, we're gonna go back to Disney and stuff. So like it's
That's
just easy.
awesome.
It's just so simple.
Yeah.
So it was really
That's
good to
very
kind of
cool.
have like that quick journey and be in such a lovely place.
Yes. Yes. I am so ready for a vacation.
You said
I'm
you were
trying
gonna
to
go to Europe, didn't you? You said like you
yeah,
wanted to go
yeah.
to Europe.
I'm in the midst of getting my passport renewed. So yeah.
Would you go like where would you go in Europe? Would you go to like places
So
like I don't know, London,
I've
Paris,
I've been looking at like Southern Europe, so France,
or
I've been looking at
sunny?
Italy, I've been looking at Switzerland,
I
maybe
really want to go to
Spain.
Switzerland.
Basically, I mean, Switzerland is definitely on the list. Like oh my God, I've always wanted to go there.
It's kind of like
Um,
taking that kind of opportunity to do something like that, like travel Europe, is something like once in a lifetime, right? Like that would sit with you forever, right?
it really will.
Just
Yeah.
like
And
doing it
then
all at once as well would be amazing. Like having that whole culture adapted.
yeah, totally. Totally. And if I could do something musical over there too, That would be amazing too. So
Honestly, I don't think like in Europe. I feel like if you just got up on a table and started singing Imagine You, they
that's
would love it.
true. That's
I
true.
generally
Literally
think
just
you should do that. That's my pitch to you. Like, get on a table and start
okay.
singing all your hits. They
Okay.
would love it. They wouldn't even care.
That's
Like, just start
amazing.
doing like busking in the middle of London if you came here, and
Yeah.
genuinely,
Yeah.
you would be so loved. I'm not even joking. Like, the amount of love that like, is it buskers, right? It's buskers.
Yeah.
The amount of love they get is just incredible. Like, I just love watching them.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah.
recommendation for you. Travel the world and do busking.
I feel like I would fit in really well there because a lot of the music I love comes out of the UK.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the artists I love.
There's a lot of artists in the UK, isn't there, actually?
I mean, there's a lot. There, man, if I sit here and try to think of them all, but
Yeah, we'll just be
there's
here for a whole another hour,
there
guys, just naming
there's
artists from the UK.
there's so many actually. I really do. I mean, even Jessie J. Like I love Jessie J.
I love Jessie
Um,
J.
I
She's
mean,
got
you got Adele. You know,
yes, obviously
Emily
Adele, love her.
Sandé, and
Yeah,
then there's the other
Harry.
one. I'm not sure if she's from the UK or not. Is Freya Ridings from the UK?
Oh, I
I
recognize the
can't
name, but I don't actually know.
I can't remember if she is or not. Maybe she may not be. But
I mean, there's a lot.
there's
There's like, the
more. Yeah.
Beatles, Harry Styles, Spice Girls. Is it Spice Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Sigrid too, even though she's not from the UK, but she's from I think like Sweden or Norway or something like that.
Oh, interesting. I never heard of them.
Sigrid? Oh yeah. So Sigrid, just like one like female artist. Her music is incredible. I love it very much.
Oh, I've never actually heard them. You just seem to send this to me because I actually like now we've
Okay.
mentioned some new artists. I feel like I need to listen to some more.
Oh, and Rhodes. How could I forget? I love Rhodes.
They from the UK as
Um,
well.
yeah,
I feel like I
yeah,
need a lot of links. So we need some links.
yeah.
That's the one
Rhodes
I
is one
wish
of my
like kind of we were
favorite
streaming
artists.
because I was like, okay, put links in the chat. That's the amazing thing about Twitch. It's like,
Yeah.
sharing
Oh,
stuff.
I thought of another one. Now they're all coming. Benjamin Clementine. I don't know if you know.
No, I don't. Why do I know
Okay.
these people? I feel really
Okay.
uncultured right now.
But they're so good, and I'm pretty sure those are from England. I
Okay, well, you
think.
know what I'm gonna be doing this evening? I'm just gonna have my headphones in, listening to all these new people.
Yeah.
I just start
Yeah.
writing down their names, just like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna have a
They're
whole
so good.
list.
They're so good. I find so many of my favorite artists out of like England and the UK, and Europe
I
just in
never knew we were
general.
such successful people.
I mean, to me, yes,
So all across the world. There we go.
yes.
I never actually asked you. I was gonna actually ask this question. Like, what's the big dream for you? Like, do you have a big dream?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I had started answering that earlier, and then I think I got like distracted or something. But um,
Sorry.
oh no, all
I
good.
shoved you on. I was like, go to the
No, all
subject.
good. But yeah, basically I want to do music as a job for the rest of my life. I want that to be what I do, and I want to be able to make a good living off of it and not, have to worry about, okay, where's the next bit of money coming from so I can put this music out. Like I want to be able to make
Yeah.
enough for music that I don't have to worry about that and I can just keep releasing. That's really like the goal. And then also, I got a few other like more personal goals when it comes to music and certain milestones and stuff. But I want to be one of the best at what I do. So that's kind of what I always aim for, with each single that I put out. I want it to be just a little bit better than the last one. And so that's kind of the goal. And then also I want to tour. I want to tour and perform live. And
I want you to tour. I want you
yeah,
to tour.
me too. Me too. And it's funny because it's like part of me is still kind of afraid to like fully step into the spotlight, but then another part of me is just like,
It's different, right? It's different because, like, obviously, like with Twitch, you're behind the screen, but like seeing the people that are in the screen, like people that are in the
yeah,
chat, like seeing their faces, it's so different, right?
yeah, it definitely is. And I think it's just one of those things where I'm a little scared of it, but like I was reading this book recently called The Light in the Limelight. And it's all about, not being afraid and, just going for what, So she says in the book, she's like, sometimes it's the things we're most afraid of are the ones that we need to do. And I feel like that is performing for me. It's one of those things where it's like,
Yes.
yeah, I could go for an easy option and just go do this for the rest of my life, or go do this or that. But it's like when it comes to performing, I know that once I get past the fear, I'm going to absolutely love it because I've done it before and loved it. So it's really just, it's a mind game.
I think that's really important. Like any kind of life experience, it's like sometimes chucking yourself into the deep end is actually something that's gonna make you come out on top and make you be like, okay, at that time it was difficult for me to do that, but now
Yeah.
I am kind of come over that fear. Like, say for you, it's like performing live and like having that fear of, the whole different experience rather than being on like Twitch or releasing singles. That's kind of something that like people need to realize is like kind of chucking yourself in the deep end sometimes is good for you in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to get better at live performance so that I can like really deliver a show that's memorable. And I think that's definitely one of my huge goals is just to be memorable, do a live show that's memorable. Yeah.
Well, like you said, like we've said this whole episode, you have such loyal fans. You've got like the music, you've got the voice, you've got the talent. So I think anything with like, especially kind of summing it all up, I think the road for you, I think a lot of people can agree with listening to this, is like there's so many possibilities, and I think they're all open to you. I don't think there's anything really stopping you. Like you've
Thanks.
dedicated yourself to it, and I think you've got this, I would say.
Thank you so much.
I would think so. Like it's a big, like you said earlier, like it's a big risk to like kind of go independent. But I generally think, like hearing all this from you, that it will pay off, and I think a lot of people would agree with me as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Like hearing the music as well. Like I feel like a lot of people, especially me, I've always kind of been excited to hear your new music as well. Like I feel a lot of people are on this journey with you. I think that's also kind of what Twitch does as well. Like sharing that kind of experience with them also puts them like kind of in you with that journey. Like you're not alone in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They have been my driving force when it comes to like building my confidence and everything. Like they've really helped me more than they know in that way. So
100%. Like I feel it's
yeah.
kind of like stepping stones, right? Like, you started with Twitch, you released your first song, which was difficult for you, and then you've kind of gone on to like now thinking, okay, I've released some music, it's been difficult for me, but now I'm gonna go to the next stepping stone, which is kind of live performing, and then it's kind of like one after another, and then you're just gonna get better and better and better at it.
Yes. Yes. And with every
That's a good
release,
way
I
to
get a
look at
little
it.
bit better at releasing too. And I'm trying to continue to up my social media game. That is something I always struggle with, but I'm working
It's
through it.
difficult. It's difficult. Like having that
It
balance,
is.
100%.
It
It's a
is.
lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously, like with social media, like when you post on there, it's making yourself feel close to them people. Like, the being active is very important, I guess. So
Yeah, it's like how can I make what I can accomplish in a 3-hour stream with Twitch? How can I make that them feel that close to me as the Twitch people feel to me?
yeah, exactly. And I
That's the
think
trick.
that's
And
also
how can
kind
I
of
do
having.
that in something less than 60 seconds on social media?
Honestly, though, like
Yeah.
I know you do like a lot of photo shoots as well, don't you? Like on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to.
Is that something like you enjoy, or is that just something that's like, oh well, I
Something
do
I feel
this?
is necessary. I think like especially like Instagram these days, I feel like, reels can be somewhat successful, but I find that my most engagement comes from quality photos.
It's like
Um,
professional, right? It's like making like I keep saying, it's like having that dedication, like but like also putting that time and quality into that is showing you like I want to be here. I'm not just doing this as like I'm going to be gone in a year. Like I want to set myself in this industry, and also I
yeah.
kind of want to be here and do what I want to do. Like that's, do you know what I mean by that? Like it's kind of like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not just
And
throwing yourself out there and then gonna jump out of the boat at the last second. Like you're in
right,
it for the long
right.
run in a way, and stuff like that you'll look back on and be like, oh, I did that, and I'm proud that I did that. I'm glad I did that. But there'll also be like mistakes. Like you'll also be like, maybe I should have taken that route. But like that's anything that's in life.
Yeah, definitely. And also I think of it as sort of, when I post on social media, it's just I'm the brand, when the musician is the brand, so every time I post a photo of myself, it's like, this is my brand. It's me. Like I'm, I'm making this music.
It's like
I'm the
take
quote
yeah,
unquote
like
product. I hate to phrase it like that, but
I'm a product.
but
No,
yeah.
no. I would say like being unique is like the main thing. Like I think that's what,
Yeah.
because there's so many people out there, isn't there? Like it's
Oh yeah.
difficult. It's difficult to
Yeah.
like a competition, I guess. It's horrible to say it like that, but it is a competition. It's a very competitive
Yeah.
industry.
I feel like
But
every time I'm more myself, like the more comfortable I can be being myself, I feel like the more I'll eventually start to stick out. Because like on my Twitch streams, I have so much opportunity to sit there and be myself for 3 hours. And
yeah,
I've had trouble translating that into social media. So once I discover that, I feel like my social media will really start to grow.
that's good then. Like I think like having that confidence to be yourself is also good because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, definitely. Because
Yeah.
people see these other artists or other influencers like being something that they're not, and that's just not good for you. Like having that mindset of, okay, I need to be myself because that's what's going to make me succeed is
Yeah.
definitely what you need. I generally
Yeah.
think that.
Yeah. And yeah, I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
That's okay. If you don't have any more questions with me, Jen, we might wrap it up. We might wrap it
Yeah,
up for
sounds
today.
good. Sounds good.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you joining. Where can we find you, by the way? Where can we find you everywhere?
So I mean, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and all
Everywhere.
music places at well, all the social media is at Jennifer Jess Music. And then my music is everywhere under the name Jennifer Jess. Um,
Yeah, it'll be linked as well, like in my socials and stuff, in my Discord and stuff. Also, there'll all be stuff to go to Jen's and all that. So, like, yeah, it's very easy to find. Jennifer
yeah.
Jess,
Yeah.
go stream. Latest single I cried for the both of us as well, which is a bop. If you haven't listened to
Thank
it
you so
already,
much.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Go over. If you're in the mood for a groove or you're just in the mood to, lift yourself up today, I generally think that Jen is the place you need to go.
Aw, thanks.
If that's all we have time for today, I appreciate you joining, Jen. Much love. I hope you have a great start of your day.
Absolutely.
Bye, everyone.